Alex Wallace here at Wallace Training Systems, and today I want to discuss how to bulk up in the healthiest way possible. First and foremost, let's talk about training. So when you're trying to bulk up, when you're trying to gain as much muscle mass as possible, obviously you need to increase your volume in order to do that. You need to be able to lift more weight than you did before, whether that's through additional reps, whether it's through an actual increase in load, whether you've added additional sets. Whatever metric you need to use, you need to find a way to increase your volume. That seems to be one of the main drivers of muscular hypertrophy. The problem is you can hurt yourself doing this. You can have what's called a load management error, or namely, you aren't recovering enough or you're not changing your program in a way to avoid injuries. Look, I can bench 365 pounds. It's not great, it's not world class, but it's pretty good. And in fact, I'll link it above here if you care to see it. It's a 365 pound pause bench. Touch and go, I can probably go somewhere around 400. But I digress. The point is, I cannot bench over 135 pounds right now. I have terrible tennis elbow, and that's completely my fault. That was a load management error. It wasn't a technical issue. It was that I was doing too much volume without enough recovery, and that stuff just starts to break down. The best way to avoid this is really to either periodize your program or include strategic deload weeks. So you can periodize your program in the sense of maybe you do an 8-week block where you're doing sets of 10 repetitions, a lot of volume. Maybe then you do a 2 or 3 week block where the volume's scaled back a little bit. There's a little less intensity, and then you deload for a week and then repeat. Look, I do think that having a lot of volume, as much as you can recover from, is important for gaining muscular hypertrophy, but only in the scope of recovery. So let's say you can hit your volume at 100%, but then you're injured for several weeks. Well, that's not any good. Part of being healthy is being injury-free. So again, periodization is one, or just taking strategic breaks here and then. So let's say you don't want to periodize, so you go 4 weeks of high volume and then 1 week completely off, or you've cut your volume in half. You're just deloading completely. But either way, you need to manage your program in a way that's going to prevent injuries. That's how you stay healthy. And not only that, that's how you get more volume in. That's how you train longer so you can actually accrue as much muscle mass as possible. This leads me to my second point. When it comes to recovery, nutrition is very important. In terms of calories, if you're bulking up, look, you can gain muscle in a calorie deficit. Sure you can. You absolutely can. But if you're trying to maximize muscle, if you're trying to actually bulk, a calorie surplus is where it's at. That being said, people go completely off the rails when it comes to bulking. They go from eating, let's say 80-20, 80% clean foods, 20%, pizza, burgers, whatever it is, to just completely flipping the script. Now they're eating 20% of decent food and 80% junk. Well, again, we're focusing on this video on bulking up in the healthiest possible way. That includes micronutrients, and that definitely includes fiber. Look, I have genetic issues with my cholesterol. I've done all types of stuff, to the point where my doctor, I think I was 27, almost put me on a statin. And I was able to fix that using nothing but dietary intervention. I'll link that video above if you're somebody like me and you deal with high cholesterol. That being said, you can avoid a lot of these health issues by having a plethora of fiber. I get it. It can be very hard to have enough calories if you're eating tons of fiber, but you need to have enough to keep your blood cholesterol in normal range so you can stay healthy. Again, we're focusing on bulking up in the healthiest possible way. You need to have adequate fiber. Not only that, you need to have an assortment of micronutrients. So an assortment of fruits and vegetables, I believe, is a good thing. I believe that strengthens your immune system, and I believe with a strong immune system, you can stay in the gym longer, and it will allow you to accrue more muscle mass. So look, being healthy and bulking up, I believe they go hand in hand. I don't think that they're disjoint goals, and that's why I think this video is so important. I'm showing you and I'm giving you recommendations on how to bulk up in the healthiest possible way so you can actually bulk up more. Let's talk about point number 3. Point number 3, this ties into point number 2. Look, it's really easy to go off the rails in terms of your body fat when bulking up, especially when you're starting to see the empirical difference on the scale. You're like, oh my God, I'm gaining weight. I want to gain weight faster and faster and faster and faster. Look, you can't gain 10 pounds of muscle in a month. You can't do it. You can gain probably 10 pounds of fat in a month though. So you should try to gain weight. I think you should track the scale. You should have those empirical numbers. But at the same time, you gotta do the mirror test. If you're looking at yourself and your blurry 4-pack is now a 0-pack, you didn't put on a ton of muscle, you put on a ton of fat. So as a man, I don't think there's any reason for your body fat to be over 20%. Even in the heart of a bulk, there's no reason to be over 20%. For the ladies out there that are also concerned with gaining weight, I really don't think you need to be above 30%. Maybe if you're pregnant, I don't know enough about that. But if you're just into the fitness game and you're trying to accrue muscle mass, ladies, no reason to be above 30%. Men, there's no reason to be above 20%. Look, having a ton of body fat is pro-inflammatory. That's not good for you. Not only is it not good for you, it also hurts nutrient partitioning. If you're so fat that your insulin sensitivity is starting to go down, no good. When you're insulin insensitive, nutrient partitioning becomes a problem, which can also hurt your bulk, not to mention the myriad of health side effects that has. So keep your body fat under control. And the last piece of this puzzle to bulk up in the healthiest way possible is to continue doing cardio. I know that sounds blasphemous. Oftentimes when people go into a bulk, no cardio. They may have went from going 4 to 5 days a week to 0. Yes, that will allow you to not burn as many calories, which may help you in your bulk for sure. But again, we're talking about health and we're talking about muscle mass. You don't want to gain a ton of body fat. Not to mention you want to be able to recover adequately between workouts. Not to mention you want to keep your insulin sensitivity high. Not to mention you want your digestion to be optimized so you can eat more of the good food that you need in order to stay healthy, in order to accrue muscle mass. Cardio is going to allow you to do that. Look, I'm not talking about going and running a marathon several days a week. All I'm saying is 2 or 3 days, maybe 20 minutes of a brisk walk is going to do wonders for allowing you to stay as healthy as possible. It's going to allow you to partition your nutrients in a way that's going to allow you to bulk up more. Not to mention it's going to aid in recovery. Look, we've done videos in the past. I don't even know if I can find this one, but we've done videos in the past that a brisk walk is one of the absolute best things that you can do to recover from a hard workout. People try things like ice baths and cryotherapy, and look, there's a time and a place for that, absolutely. But for most of us, nothing beats a brisk walk. So again, that's another one of those things where being healthy and gaining as much muscle mass as you can go hand in hand. Look, if you want to bulk up, I'm assuming that you don't want to just gain body fat. You want most of it, if not as much as possible, to be muscle mass. And these principles will absolutely help you do that, not to mention help you stay healthy for the long run. So just to recap, if you want to bulk up in the healthiest way possible, continue to do your cardio, keep your body fat under control, periodize your program to avoid injuries, and stick with the 80-20 rule. 80% of your food is minimally processed, rich in fiber, micronutrients, protein dense, and then 20%, absolutely, you can have some pizza, you can have some burgers, you can have some French fries. If you like the video, don't forget to like the video. What's coming up? I'm gonna do a breakdown using MyFitnessPal on exactly how to use MyFitnessPal to bulk up. If you like the content, if you're interested in seeing our future content, make sure you subscribe. Please like the video. I'm Alex Wallace. This is Wallace Training Systems, and I will see you in the next video.